There's two kinds of people in this world, my old granddad used to say, takers and givers. You took the time to ask questions, and I'm going to answer those questions because I am a giver. You must get a lot of comments on your videos. How do you decide which ones to reply to? Margaret V. Pauline. Most comments I ignore because they're inane and pointless anyway. Like, can you imagine commenting first on something in 2021? You know, the last time first was clever? The first time someone did it. And even then, bit obvious. But I do reply to certain comments, and when I'm deciding whether or not to reply, I consider several factors, such as whether or not the comment is interesting, whether or not the commenter is asking a question I can convincingly pretend to know the answer to, and whether or not the commenter is giving me money. I'm starting a YouTube channel because I want to use it to convince girls I'm cool so they'll go out with me. Do you see any flaws in this plan? Harrowstone Fjord. On the surface, no. It's perfect. Chicks love cool guys, and there's no job cooler than being a YouTuber. However, a few things to watch out for. Make sure that your channel is good. Produce awesome videos, and always make yourself look good. Don't show weakness. Don't admit to being wrong, and never, ever make fun of yourself. Use humor to place yourself above other people. And make sure that if the audience is laughing, they're laughing at someone else, not at you. And if you do accidentally do something that makes people laugh at you, follow that up immediately by doing something cool to remind them how awesome you are. If you keep those things in mind, your YouTube channel will be kick-ass and you, my friend, will be drowning in tang. Okay? Drowning in tang. God damn it. I can snatch a quarter off my elbow. Here, check this out. All right, watch. Not a magic trick. First time, motherfuckers! I've noticed a lot of popular channels on YouTube are run by people who do reviews of movies and TV shows and stuff. You've done videos like that. What's the secret to being a successful critic on YouTube? Carla Guccino. Good question, and it kind of follows the last one. The secret to being a good movie or TV critic is to establish your superiority over the work that you're reviewing and the artists who made that work. And this isn't just an egotistical pretense on your part. It's an objective fact that you, as a critic, are better than the people who make movies and TV shows, and I can prove it. Let's break this down. What kind of people make movies and TV shows? Artists. And who do they make them for? The audience. Why do they make them for the audience? So the audience will pay to see them. Why do the artists need the audience to pay to see their movies and TV shows? Because the artists need the audience's money. Why do they need the audience's money? Because the audience has more money than the artists have. Why does the audience have more money than the artists have? Because the audience is superior. And which members of the audience are the most difficult to please? The critics. And why are the critics so difficult to please? Because they have high standards. And why do they have high standards? Because they demand excellence. Why do they demand excellence? Because they are excellent. Artists make art for the audience, therefore the audience is superior to the artists, and critics are the best members of the audience, therefore they are superior to everyone else in the audience as well as the artists. It's not my opinion, it's a mathematical fact, and you can't argue with mathematical facts because they are necessarily true. Just like my opinions. Once you've established that you're better than the artists whose work you're evaluating, all you have to do in order to be a good critic is just keep following that train of logic. If you're superior to the work you're reviewing, that means you're always right. You're not just someone with a video camera sharing your take, you're an authority. If you think a movie sucks, it does. If you think you could have made something better, you could have. Just remember the most important thing. Being a critic on YouTube isn't about articulating your own subjective reactions to a work as a way of participating in a cultural discourse about that work and the context in which it was created and is being consumed in order to encourage broader and deeper and more thoughtful engagement with art so that we might better understand what the art we as a society produce and celebrate is telling us about ourselves. It's about being right. So just follow the advice I've given you today and you'll be fine. You'll be a successful critic running a kick-ass YouTube channel, and just like the last guy, you will be drowning in tang. God damn it! Hey, I can do 50 push-ups without stopping. Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 13, 14, 15. Oh, God. There. 15 push-ups without stopping. Just like I said.